Review a new earphone. I think it's new. It's sometimes called IEMs, which I believe stands for inner monitor. And I don't know where I'm getting this dust from here, but anyway, the nice velvety bag is something I don't usually get excited about with headphones, but since this nice velvety bag actually encloses this hard case, that makes it all the much better. And this is the, let's look at the back of this. It says MI in-ear headphones IF special edition. Now, I've looked these up on Amazon and they run around, I'm trying to think, about $25. Not expensive at all. In fact, the sound is going to be way above the price. But anyway, I just call this in my written review, I call it MI-IF. So it's the don't know exactly how they come up with these names. Anyway, this company seems to be Xiaomi. It's Chinese. I just pronounce it Xiaomi, but that may not be correct. It's probably way different than that. And it has some other things down here, like iMore design, whatever that is. It seems to be very well made. And we look inside the box here, take off the cover. And there we have the earphone, and underneath that we have a bunch of ear tips. So there's 3 extra sets of ear tips besides the one that come installed on the earphone. And one tip is, well, let's take this out first. This is going to be all wrapped up, I think, so this should be quite a challenge. Probably should have done this first. But anyway, that's what this is kept in is this, in fact, unless you're really good at this, at putting one of these things back together, I wouldn't be inclined to store it in here every time you use it, just because it's a lot of work taking it back out and putting it back in. But it's a nice case. So let's see how far we get here. Still nowhere. Okay, now this is the little control box, and I've stopped and started with that button right there. I wasn't able to get these other 2 buttons to do anything on an iPhone, so whatever they do, I don't know yet. Imagine they might work on Android or something like that. But again, I don't know exactly what they do. So now we have our earphone out of here, and we can compare these ear tips. It looks like, hard to tell. Looks like this ear tip is somewhere between the medium size and a large size. Anyway, I found that these ear tips that came installed fit me okay. But the sound I get, once the earpieces settle in and they achieve their natural balance, that is, if I push in too much harder, then the highs drop off, so I know I've got a pretty good seal and I've got adequate bass there. But I do notice that if I push in a little bit more, that the sound shifts from having a neutral bass and strong lower treble with an average upper treble, but a very strong low treble. That sound shifts to have a little more of a stronger bass and a more normal treble. So how the sound is going to depend on how it fits you and probably what ear tip you use. And you can, with the price of this being so low, like in the mid-20s US dollars, that you won't have any trouble buying extra tips, Comply tips, whatever tips fit this, and maybe you get the best possible fit that way. But again, the sound is going to depend on what kind of fit you get. And in my case, I just settled for the default ones here, and the very strong presence and the lower treble and the neutral bass. Of course, there's enough bass clarity and detail there to, well, it's very satisfactory for me. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I would just rate the overall sound of this as anywhere from very good to potentially incredible. depending on, like I say, how good of a fit you get and what kind of balance that you achieve. The potential for me getting just the exact amount of insertion that I would need to get the proper balance is just, I don't know. I've had a $250 B&O H3 and it's no better than this. I've had the $1,500 Final Audio FI-BA-SS, and I'd be hard pressed to say that that's really any better. And again, I don't know if they can maintain consistency with these at the $25 price range, but wow, pretty amazing. And physically they're well made too. I don't see any limitations to them physically. They seem to be perfectly machined, and the sound quality is such that you can tell there's no abnormal things. There's no peaks, dips, and that sort of stuff. So it's really good. So there we have the earpieces. There we have a little control box, and this is a fabric cable. So this cable looks like it's going to be super strong. It's a woven fabric cable around the wires here, and then we have a extra connector mini plug, which is, I guess I would think of that as an Apple style plug, but anyway, the extra connector in there is for the control box. And I wish I knew what these things on the back does. But anyway, there's the earphone itself. And by the way, I didn't use amps much with these because the amp will improve the clarity, of course, and the soundstage some. But other than that, it's overkill in most cases. An iPhone or a music player that has good sound, it's plenty enough to drive this IEM here. So that pretty much wraps up this. This is really nice here. Maybe somebody can develop a skill and take an earphone out and putting it back in there. Really nice packaging they have here for this thing. So that's the Xiaomi, if I'm pronouncing that right, MI in-ear headphone, IF Special Edition, and you'll find that there are other editions to these. They all still fall within that $20-some range, though, as far as I can tell. So there it is. Thank you.